If you'd like to sponsor Still Got Game, give us a call at 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Still Got Game, episode 510. Still Got Game's official podcast of tooltoplay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
I am Chris Selden007 Selden.
And I am Brian Shadow Emmerich.
And we are back after a couple weeks off. Just like we didn't miss a beat, except we missed 2 beats. Yeah.
That's okay. We didn't.
I don't even remember what happened the last couple weeks. So
no huge news.
No, not at all. No.
Maybe we'll talk about it.
I'm sure we will. Yep. But yes, no, it's good to be back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dead air, just dead air.
Yeah, dead air is right. I was surreptitiously adjusting your frame because I could see the yellow light up above your head. So I had to fix that from the Zoom call as you talk to not light up yellow just above you. So yeah, there you go.
All
now
right.
Everything's fixed. Just fix it in real time. We don't fix shit in post. We fix it on the fly.
Yeah, we're all pro here. No problems getting this show started at all.
No.
Not at
See,
all.
I prefer warm light. That's the thing. You like the cool light. So.
Oh, nice. All right. So we are back. We're doing a show. So we'll just hop right into the mailbag for to get in the show proper. Remember, if you want to leave us a voicemail, it will cut you off after a minute. Diarrhea Tornado asks, okay, a more serious question than last week. What games are you most looking forward to between now and the end of the year?
I know Forza is coming out next week. I'll play that for a little bit. Looking forward to that, but I can't say that's the most I'm looking forward to a game. I got so many games right now I'm playing. I just don't. I don't know if I want to take any more games on.
Fair enough. I'm in the same boat. I don't feel really super excited about anything.
I am not in the same boat. I'm very excited for Alan Wake 2.
Yes,
very excited.
Yes, we knew that was coming. Yes, yeah.
But also Super Mario Brothers Wonder and Spider-Man 2. So all that stuff will take me to the end of the year and beyond, probably with like other stuff that's already out. So that'll be fine for me.
Yeah, it's just so much out now. It's insane that this is what we talked about a few months back. The October fucking tidal wave or whatever we called it. But yeah, this is nuts. So
yeah, I mean, we could have no more games released for the next 6 months, and I still wouldn't get through all these probably.
And if anyone's playing Starfield the way you're supposed to play it, which is not me, you've got at least 100 hours into that game. So Selden's playing.
Yeah, well,
we'll talk about
Selden.
that later, Selden. Yes. All right. Yeah. Next up, Mason 1969 comments. I went out to lunch with a friend of mine from work, and your show came on when he started his car. Needless to say, I asked him to leave it on, and now I'm a subscriber as well. Well, welcome, Mason,
awesome.
1969. Yeah.
Awesome. Just random.
This is how it's done. Word of mouth.
Yeah.
For sure. So now we have our count goes up by 1, just added to the tally there on the spreadsheet.
1.
Tell your friends. Add more.
Yes, definitely do that. Yes, share the show. And
do you like games?
People don't want it. Yeah.
Are you old? Do you like reminiscing about old games, but also play new games? That's us.
There's plenty of room for you. Hop on board. It's the Great Space Coaster. Yeah,
it's definitely good, and thanks to your friend for having us on the radio, ready to go for you. So, kudos to him.
I'm trying to picture how this happened. Like he started the car and it's like, yeah, and he's like, no, and he tries to hit pause or something right away. Oh no, expletive. Oh no, we're back. Yes, yeah. Expletive briefly died there. So yes, yeah. But yeah, that's how I imagine it went down. But I can't be sure. But that's how it would go down in my car if I was listening to a gaming podcast and someone got in and we were going out to lunch. But I don't know.
Like, I don't know why that's on. Let me stop.
Yes. Who put that on my car? Yes. So, but all good to have you aboard, Mason 1969. Yes. we're happy to have you. All right, next up, Toga Party's Rule asks, how much of the accidentally leaked Microsoft documents do you think contain things still on their roadmap? I'm pretty excited to see if the console and controller come out around that time. Well, Toga Party's Rule, I'm going to put you on hold for a minute. We're going to talk about this during the news, but we will remember that you asked a common sense question, and we'll give you a common sense answer.
That was almost an Altius level question there, I think, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe he. Oh no, he's next. So it's not him.
All right, and last but certainly not least, Altius asks, I saw that the FTC is challenging Microsoft's acquisition of Activision Blizzard again after already losing once in the courts. How do you guys see this playing out?
They're
Really?
This is just a speed bump, right?
Yeah, I looked at it and it's like, the English, England's British version of whatever that regulatory board finally approved it and said, okay, go ahead. So then America has to jump back in and say, oh no, we're going to have the last word now. Hold on, we're going to bring this back.
Yeah, this is that's fucked up. I think it's just a speed bump. I don't see this not going through, right?
No,
no.
This teeters on double jeopardy. I know it doesn't fall within the same law sets of, you can't try somebody
they didn't
for
murder anybody
2 times, but it just seems like, come on, you already came to a decision. It was ruled on. You can't go back and say, I want seconds.
Another bite at the apple. Yeah.
It's probably some other thing, but I mean, I really hope that we're all not in a year going, or say 5 years going, oh man, that was bad. I wish someone would have stopped them. I hope that's not the case.
Yeah.
I hope we're going, man, that just drug out forever and it was no big deal.
Yeah.
So
yeah, most if anything else, like if you know Phil Spencer and you've talked to him or listened to him, he's all about bringing games to the most people possible and giving an experience where everybody enjoys it. And I think that's all that's trying to happen here, but everybody's reading between the lines and thinks it's something else. So hopefully this just ends before it starts. Yeah.
I think we just have to hope that Phil Spencer stays there, because if he gets booted or something, then who knows what the next person will do, and they may say, oh, look, now we own all this stuff and we're going to screw it all up. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Stay in there, Phil.
I don't think he's going anywhere, but
I don't think so either, but you just never know.
Though. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. He may, quote, win the lottery or whatever you want to call it. Just, you don't know.
Out.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, right. I'm done. But no, I don't think so. I think it'll be okay. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't hear about that new suit, honestly. So we'll have to see what that's about. It might be something different than before, and they might have to go through it again. But then you got another month on there, and then are there penalties they have to pay again, or because they had to pay penalties because it was late before, right?
Yes. Yep.
I think. Yeah. So they'd get to the point where it's just tacking on billions, and then they might go, well, it's a sunk cost, so we'll stay in. But
I mean, the end result is that Microsoft's going to finish the sale. They're going to buy Activision Blizzard before this has a chance to get anywhere. So it's going to be like, what are you going to do? They're already in place. They're already one company. They're already operating under one umbrella. Like, are you going to try to break them up now? Like,
I mean, they'll probably put a stay on it.
Broken up monopolies before.
Yeah.
Look at Bell, the telephone company. Yeah, remember that back in the day? Yep. So
I just don't think this is the same realm as that.
Internet Explorer?
No. Yep. Can't include your own antivirus. Yeah. We've seen them get involved in things they don't understand many times.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Guess we'll see.
We shall see. All right, if any questions or feedback, give us a call, 773-527-2961, or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. And on that, why don't we hop on over to what we're playing? Selden, what the fuck you been playing this week?
I have been playing nothing but AAA titles and a couple shit games. But No, mostly the COD DMZ season 6. The new battle pass dropped just last week, so I re-upped that, and I'm playing my dailies, get the dailies in, playing
That
in
by
the
mistake
DMZ.
or on purpose?
Ah, it's on purpose.
Oh, okay. I was just
I'm
checking.
enjoying DMZ still, so and they're still not confident that DMZ is going to be in the next COD when it drops. So got to get the DMZ in while it's still available. So I'm enjoying that. They did make a couple big changes. Used to be able to assimilate to a 6-man squad. They limited that to 4 now. So a team of 3 can go in and only pick up one guy. So it's not just a PvP mess all the time. So it's pretty good change. It made the a little bit more friendly environment. So things are moving along in DMZ pretty well. So I'm enjoying it. Next to that, my other big game is of course Starfield. I've been playing that pretty much nonstop whenever I get a chance to sit down, and I'm loving it. I'm like I'm got to a point in the storyline, the arc that I followed, that I was avoiding base building on planets, and it's kind of got me to the point where now I'm forced to do that in the storyline that I'm following. So my gameplay is slowed down dramatically because I'm learning the mechanics of base building and how to make it operate between planets and stuff like that. But it's still good. I'm still having fun with it. It's a little bit of a drag in that point, but
Are those side quests that you're doing?
no, this is
Okay, so
actually
you're
part
still
of
just the main storyline.
this is the main storyline. I'm still
Okay.
doing a lot of side quests and stuff on the side
Oh, you don't
just to
want to do
take
that.
up the.
That's what I've heard. You just want to stick with the main storyline until you get to the end and you do the plus.
I know, but I don't want to play a base building game, so I have to do the side quests to go out and shoot some alien, other people and stuff like that. So yeah, it's going well.
Good, good.
It's definitely a great game. It's definitely
I'm sure it's great
if you
for
want
you.
to
Yep, yep.
if you want a game that you can spend hundreds of hours in and work your way through, this is definitely it. So
And feel like every gun is a nail gun and not like has any
no,
heat
Oh,
behind.
here we go.
Here
we go, Derek.
no.
It's such a piece of shit. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
Yeah.
You need to play a little bit more. There's lots of different guns with different attributes and different feels to them. So
Oh, Tiffany's upstairs playing it right now. It's not for me. It's hot garbage.
I still say that they need to put a multiplayer into it, even if it's asymmetric, not working together on anything, but just in the city zones and stuff like that would be nice. But yeah, it's just I'm having a lot of fun with it, a lot of exploration, a lot of
Good on you.
good feel to it. So
yeah, enjoy.
But other than that, I did pick up off of Game Pass the game that dropped I think this week.
Oh yeah, it's
called-
not on our list because it's not a big name game, but yeah.
But it is. This thing is getting rave reviews. Yeah, it's called Cocoon. It's by the guys that did originally. They did Limbo and Inside. So those are 2 great games that were reviewed highly back in the day. Cocoon's getting nothing but 9s and 10s across the board. It's another one of those type of puzzle games that it doesn't give you any direction off the start. It's another one of those you just have to experiment. There's no tutorial. It just drops you right into the puzzles and stuff like that. And you got to figure out what you got to do. So it's definitely a good casual game to sit back and relax. And
no, I've heard good stuff about it. I just wouldn't call it a top new release, but it's I know it started as a side-scrolling puzzle game, and then they decided they'd rather go with the top-down view, and they revamped the whole thing. And apparently people like it, but yeah.
Well, I mean, what makes something a top new release for you? Like it has to be like a $60 game, or?
It's going to be a AAA title. Otherwise, we could spend an hour in new releases, which we don't want to do. So I cull this list from hundreds of games you've never heard of, especially on the Switch. The Switch has each week maybe 200 new releases that no one has ever heard of.
Yeah.
Well, it's not you for sure.
No, certainly not. Selden probably has heard of all of them, but to be honest.
And I'll try each and every one of them.
I know you will. Yes.
But yeah, no, I highly recommend Cocoon if you're looking for like that nice little casual puzzle game. So
See, now we covered a new release that's not on the new releases. So yeah, there you go. It has the Selden seal of approval. Take it as you will.
How about you, Shadow? What have you been playing?
I put Starfield on here, but I don't actually know that I've played it in the last week and a half.
Oh, it's the last 3
Because
weeks technically.
well, yeah. So Lies of P came out on Game Pass, which is it's on all the different everything. But I've been playing that pretty much exclusively, which is it's a Souls-like, so it's Dark Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring, things like that. It's basically like that, but a little more linear. It's more like Demon Souls. But it really feels like From made it, even though they didn't. And it I wouldn't say rips off a lot of stuff, but it kind of does. But if you love those games and you played all of them, then it's a great game to play. It's free. I mean, it's free in Game Pass right now if you have Game Pass. So, but it's basically like a Souls game. So, but I've been playing that pretty much the whole time since it came out, which I think was the 19th. So the last week and a half, 2 weeks.
Look at you.
Loving it. I think there are 12 chapters. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I'm on 10, so pretty far along. But it's definitely more linear. So with Souls games, you have a lot of stuff where you kind of loop back on yourself. You go to some other land and then come back, and other things open up. And it's not really like that. It's more like you go through an area. If you mostly finish everything, you just go on to the next area. And then you might come back for like a door that needs to be opened later on with a key, but it's just for like some loot or something. But otherwise, it's basically like one to the next. So it's better for people who don't have a ton of time and want to play a Souls game. I think I put in maybe 30-ish hours, 30, 35 hours, and I'm almost done. So, I mean, and I'm sort of messing around a little bit. So you could probably go pretty straightforward if you're really good at Souls games and get it done in like 25 hours, I would say. It's not super long, but so far it's been really enjoyable. So that is basically what I've been playing for the last.
I've heard good stuff about it. So
Yeah,
I think
I was gonna say that's one that I wanted to pick up and play, but I just knew that I had too many other commitments with the other games that I'm playing, and I couldn't. I knew I couldn't put the time in that I'd want to on that game. And those Souls games, that's not something like you can just put down and come back a few weeks later, because all the repetitions and patterns and styles of play, you kind of can't. Yeah, to keep those fresh as you go through those games. So
yeah, it takes a little bit to get back into it, I think, if you drop it. But I will say that because it's so linear, it's not as bad as like putting down a role playing game and not knowing after like a month you come back and like, I don't know where I am. Like if I jump back into Starfield right now, I wouldn't know what to do next. It'll take me a little bit, but with this one, it's like, okay, I'm at this bonfire or whatever. Okay, well, there's the boss, so I'm gonna go fight. But it's more like you said, the repetition of controls and things that you have to kind of quote get good again, which might take like a day or not a day, but a play session. But otherwise, you're not like, I have no idea what's going on as like a role playing game. Like if I dropped back into Final Fantasy 15 or something, whatever game I started like that a while ago, I would have no clue. I would just start over.
You don't know where your binds are. You don't know what's
no idea.
No.
So yeah.
Yeah, I just know that I've gone back to like Elden Ring after a lengthy break, and I felt like I was button mashing again. I'm like, what the fuck, man? My timing's way off.
Nice.
So those games
gotta get good. Get good, man. How about you, Derek? What have you been playing?
Well, I dropped Starfield from my list. That it just became not the game I want to play. And
that's sad. You were so excited for that game.
I know it was.
Seemed like
I thought it was going to be better than it was, just like I thought with Halo. Every game has let me down over the last year, basically. So
you know what?
Except for Vampire Survivors, you love Vampire Survivors.
So I was going to say that. So I've only played Fall Guys, but I do have a slot in my playtime where I could potentially do some multiplayer Vampire Survivors with some other hosts of the show if they wanted to do that.
Yeah, is that update out?
I think so, but I'm not 100% sure, so don't quote me on that. But I thought that it stealth rolled out, but that could be a fun thing to do one night.
Yeah.
I could probably put
4 players, right? We could all play, I think.
Yeah.
At the same time.
So I'll confirm that, but I think that would be something fun to add back to my
That would be crazy. I've only played 2-player with my son like once, and it got really pretty crazy. So 3 or 4. Oof.
Yeah, and all my shit is god tier. I have almost all the characters unlocked. I have, yeah. So yeah, I think it could be fun. But yeah, but I didn't play that. The only thing I played was Fall Guys. So, yes,
Wait,
but
where am I?
I'm dreaming of playing that. So yes, yeah. All right. On that, why don't we hop on over new releases?
Wait, Fall
so
Guys.
yes,
You didn't play Fall Guys?
I did play Fall Guys.
Okay.
But I
you
said
play
that.
with Mike?
I briefly
Oh, okay.
said that.
You just said I played Fall Guys.
I
So
said
anyway.
it in passing, and I was like, I played Fall Guys, but I wanted to play Vampire Survivors multiplayer. So yes, yeah.
All right.
You played that with GBMS, right?
No.
Or did you play by yourself?
I play Fall Guys usually with my daughter Caroline, who's at
okay.
Syracuse. So yeah, she's.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great chill game. I mean, like you don't have to pay like super attention to that game, so you can have nice conversation. So that's definitely something.
Yep. Yeah, that's
Good to
like
play.
instead of like doing a 20-minute phone call, like what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, that's what's going on in school. Like we can instead play like 3 hours of Fall Guys, and I get a lot more information like of what's going on.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's nice.
I played a little bit of Human Fall Flat with my son, which he likes, and a little bit of Fortnite, which was the first time I ever played it because they were starting to let him play it. He's 9.5 or almost 10. Like, all right, you can play this, but you're not going to buy anything. See, play with your friends.
That's the trick. Yes, yeah.
Well, he doesn't have any money and he doesn't have any way to buy anything. So
yeah,
the
parental stuff on Xbox is fantastic.
It's great. Yeah,
you can be like, nope, you can't talk to strangers. Nope, you can't do this. Nope, you can't do this. Oh, and games are limited to 4 hours a day or 3 hours a day. Or your limit is, and yep. Nice. All right. Well, moving on over to new releases. These are the new releases for the last 3 weeks or 2 weeks or so. So we'll bang through some of the older ones quickly. First new release out 2 weeks ago was Lies of P. Shadow talked about this after the Xbox, the PlayStation, the PC, and ironically the Mac for this one.
Nice.
I know. Like,
who games on a Mac?
Now, some softy on the team was like,
I
used
make it
for my Mac too. So obviously a Souls-like, obviously gonna make you smash controllers. Not for me. Seems to be for Shadow since he dropped everything else for this.
Yeah. It's for me.
Yep.
I can be the oddball.
Yep. And Selden maybe, but who knows?
Yeah.
Selden ain't got time for that.
I really don't. That's the problem. I just don't have time for that.
Fair enough. Next new release out last week was Mortal Kombat 1 out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, the Switch, and the PC. Apparently this is pretty amazing. They got rid of all the stupid story mechanics and like the skin, like it's back to being like a fun Mortal Kombat game versus what was the last one? Mortal Kombat 11?
11, yeah.
Yeah. And that had those weird mechanics in it for unlocking stuff and for so apparently this one's pretty awesome if you like Mortal Kombat games and you want one, but
I used to love Mortal Kombat like back in the day, but I played a little bit of 9, I think, and then I played some 11 with my buddy because it was on sale, and so we're like, oh, let's just get it, we'll play it, and we got all the like crazy skins like Freddy and Jason and stuff, and that was cool. And we just kind of liked playing against each other, but I didn't really run through any of the story stuff. I heard they've been pretty good this last trilogy, like the story stuff's been pretty cool, but the unlock stuff I don't know about, so maybe that's a pain, like you said. But this one's getting, like you said, great reviews. I may pick it up on sale, just give it a shot because it's been a while since I played one, and I wouldn't mind playing it because I always used to like them. I was never that great at them, but I'd always love looking up fatalities and things and doing that when I was, younger. So and they've only gotten cooler.
Because I could always only remember one fatality. I was like, okay, I'm gonna be Sub-Zero, and I got this one down. But then you'd be in like the arcade, and like some douche would know every fucking fatality and babality and everything, and they're just like, how the fuck do you remember all this? Like, one is what you got, just one. Like,
I was talking to somebody today about old magazines, and I said, well, back in the day, I used to go through. And I'd find the magazines that had all the new Mortal Kombat codes for all the fatalities, and I'd buy that magazine.
The EGM,
Game Pro, all the like. Oh, they got new codes. Oh, they figured out all the different Babe now it's just, isn't it there just on the start screen? Like you pause screen, can't you just see them all or
If
something?
not, it's a Google search away. So
Well, yeah, that too.
Yeah, but it's hard to remember them is the problem. Like, and you're
I
like,
used to
who am I using and what is the code? Yeah.
I used to go through those mags and they'd all have different stuff. So this is how I learned to use a typewriter. I would go through and I would type them all up onto like a sheet
Nice.
and have that as like a master sheet of all the fatalities, babalities, animalities, all that stuff, friendships, all that stuff.
Oh, I forgot
I
the
think they do that
friendships.
anymore.
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
think of the cool stuff, but friendships were a thing for a while. Yeah. I forgot
Yeah.
that.
Just
Yep.
goofy.
Yep.
And then like, how do you hit this guy? How do you hit him into the pit on this level? And how do you whatever? Yeah, I loved that stuff when I was younger, but it's been a while. So I might check it out.
yeah, I'm gonna say that unfortunately that style of fighting game is just it's way past my genre that I play anymore. So it's they're cool to look at, but like every time I pick one up, it's just like 10-minute playtime, and I'm like, I'm done with this.
So you're not part of the
So,
FGC, the fighting game community?
No Super Smash Brothers, no Street Fighter, no Mortal Kombat anymore. So those are just genres that I'm not into. So
fair enough. All right, next new release out for the Xbox and the PC is Party Animals, and I've heard really good stuff about this. This kind of reminds me of Fall Guys or any of those sort of anthropomorphic, like nondescript character things, but instead of them being blobs, they're fuzzy animals that use weapons, and
they got
it's a brawler. Yeah,
it's the funny geometry. It's the what the hell am I trying to say?
Like ragdoll stuff.
The ragdoll effect, the humans fall flat type thing,
Yep.
where they're all bobbly, so you don't have like ultimate control of your guy. So there's always some randomness to it. It is a lot of fun. I played it with my son a little bit, just to play a little bit of it, and it is it's fun. It's great throwing them into like the grinders and stuff like that. So
I find that kids these days seem to like more of the just crazy random stuff than like a really structured, nicely done, like straight through game. Probably because it got
game. Yeah.
probably because we've gotten so advanced with that where it's like, okay, now I get it. I see what you're doing, and I could play through all this, but it might be kind of boring. Oh, I just want to go here and just screw around with my friends and just do crazy stuff, and I think that's what they like now.
Yeah.
So
yeah, kids are broken. That's the moral of the story. Yes. Yeah.
the end.
The end. All right. Next new release out is Payday 3 out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, the PC. I know I've played the first two Paydays at E3s and never picked one up. And this one I think is on Game Pass. So it may have a lower barrier to entry, but really it's all about like, because you need other people to do it with you, you're supposed to plan out these elaborate heists and how you're going to go in, and maybe you're going to go stealth, maybe you're going to do this, maybe you're going to do that. But really what it boils down to is it just ends up being like you shooting up cops and going through the front door and going like not the way
Leroy Jenkins.
It's all Leroy Jenkins. Yes. Yeah.
Unfortunately, this one's coming in really bad reviews. And it's also not getting a lot of play because unfortunately it's the wrong release time for this game. This could be a game that would profited of releasing like February. 6 months later.
And that's how the first two Paydays did so well, because they came out at times there was no competition.
Yeah. It's just there's so much out there, and unfortunately a halfway decent title like a Payday is going to fall in the cracks amongst all these other ones that are coming out. So
I feel like this one got delayed a lot because I feel like it's been around for a while, but I could be wrong. But
because we saw this at our last E3 that we were at. We saw at the Deep Silver behind closed doors. We saw an early Payday 3, and I feel like that was 2017, 18, or 19. So
Jeez.
yeah, it's been in the hopper for a bit. Yeah.
So maybe it should have released earlier, not later.
Maybe that's
they were finally like
yeah.
We got to get this out. Okay, just drop it.
Yep.
And it's on Game Pass.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're bored, Selden, we know that you know how to pull down Game Pass games. Yeah.
I mean, Payday people like Payday, and those people will play it no matter what. So maybe it didn't matter when it dropped because I don't know that it's getting a lot of new people, but I know that people who love that series will play it. So
No, yeah, it's like your Madden folks or your soccer folks. Like some people will just go back to any game in a sequel, but like we all did with Halo, and then we were like, oh no,
um,
yeah.
it's a good game. I just need more maps.
All right, next new release out is Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, the PC. This is the long-awaited first expansion for Cyberpunk. Apparently, this is going over super well. Like I've heard only good things about this, except for the cost. But
Yeah, I picked the wrong time to play Cyberpunk finally. I should have just waited like 3 months. Then I would have had the 2.0 update pretty much from the start, and just then I would have gotten the DLC
got the
too and
DLC right away.
continued on. But now I'm like, I just finished the entire game. And then I got the 2.0 updates, it resets everything, so now I have to figure out how to play it again. And I don't know. I'll probably wait till this is on sale in like 6 months or a year. I don't need to play it right now. I got other stuff to play, but I will play it eventually because I like that game.
Nice.
Yeah, honestly, seeing some of the trailers and stuff like that, I almost pulled the trigger and bought it again.
Yeah,
because I
this
had
might be
returned
the
it.
time for people like you and I to go back, Selden. And
I know
Yeah.
it looks so much nicer. The gameplay looks more fluid. The story seems like it flows better because the gameplay is better, and with the DLC and everything like that on there on top of it, I'm like, it looks baller. I mean, it definitely looks like it's a kick-ass game.
No,
Yeah.
like
I think
I
they
was
finally have ray
honestly thinking
tracing.
the same thing as you were. Like I was like, well, maybe since I didn't like Starfield, maybe I'll just pick this up and go from here. But yeah.
Speaking of that, did you like Fallout or
Oh, I
like
never liked the Fallout games. No.
okay?
Yeah, see,
'Cause
I love the Fallout games too.
it's very
So.
similar to that, I think. So if you didn't like Fallout, then Starfield may not be for you.
No. Well, then
I mean, you already know it's not for you.
because I feel like Fallout is like Starfield is like. I guess if it's like
Skyrim.
I don't like any of these. No.
You like
What?
Skyrim though, right?
No, I didn't like Skyrim
No?
either.
Okay, with
No.
them. Why did you think you would like Starfield?
I don't know because I didn't like Halo.
You're just wishing that you'll like something. Maybe
Yes, I
it'll
just
come
want
true.
to like something.
But you
And
did like
ironically, the one I liked was Vampire Survivors, which is something that looks so dumb. It looks like a Selden phone game, and it was like the best game of last year.
Is that a
Like,
genre?
Yes, a Selden phone
Selden
game.
phone Just go to that
Yeah,
group on your
yeah,
on the App Store.
it's gonna be
Selden phone games.
the Apple and the Google Play Store. It's going to be a subcategory all
Yes,
of its
yeah.
own.
Oh, all right. Next up is EA Sports FC 24. This is out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, the Switch, and the PC, and this is a football game that competes with, by football I mean soccer, that competes with the other soccer game that was the only game for a long time, and then EA decided like, hey, fuck this, we're in. Boom, soccer. So I have zero interest in this. I find soccer to be the most boring thing in the planet. I find it to be like it's worse than hockey like to the scoring. Like you get to the end of the game, it's like, oh, 0-0. And then even above that, they're like, oh, and by the way, you don't know how much time's left. I'm keeping it secret. I'm keeping it secret. Could be done now. Could be done in a minute.
Maybe,
could be done.
Maybe I'll add more time on just because I want to. They do that sometimes.
Yeah, maybe like, hey, I'm trying to build up a shit that I'm gonna pump out later. Like, yeah, I need 10 more minutes on my shit. So yeah, let's go 10 more minutes, then I'll go to the locker room and take my shit. Yeah. No.
Here it's still a game. We're not biased at all.
No, we just hate soccer. Yeah.
Or soccer.
Well,
either one.
Well, I do enjoy soccer as a sport, but I do not enjoy soccer as a video game. So
I like going to see sports. I don't really like playing them unless it's like NBA Jam or something crazy like that, where it's hype in reality.
On fire. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Either way, I don't think any of us are picking up EA Sports FC 24, right?
That doesn't mean you don't have, or that you shouldn't if you like that sort of thing.
If you're into
You
that,
shouldn't. Don't support it.
you definitely shouldn't. Yes, yeah. This game will go away if no one buys it this year. So just saying. But then again, everyone with Game Pass has 10 hours free to try this. So
Cool.
try
That's
it
nice.
out and see how terrible it is because it's soccer. Yep. All right. Next new release out this week is Assassin's Creed Mirage, out for the Xbox, the PlayStation, and the PC. This is the follow-up to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. It looks pretty stunning. It's got a new engine behind it. It's just not my kind of game. It's Tiff's kind of game, but she's sucked into Starfield right now. Did either of you guys play Valhalla?
I did. I played a lot of Valhalla and I loved it, but Mirage is not going to be a pickup for me at this point. It seems like a lot of the Assassin Creeds are bordering on shovelware at this point.
Oh, you think?
The last one was when Black Flag came out because the people in the game before it loved the ship, the sailing of the ship.
Yep.
So I'm like, it really hasn't changed that much overall. So unfortunately, I'm going to pass on Mirage. Maybe give it a generation or something like that between my next pickup of an Assassin's Creed game.
It's been a while since I played an Assassin's Creed. The one that was in Egypt, I think, was the last one I tried. So that was, I don't remember what that was called, but Origins, I believe. I really like the old ones back when there was like Ezio and the all of the virtual reality stuff, that whole storyline. And they just decided all of a sudden, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. It's not that anymore. It's just something else. I'm like, okay. I didn't really like Black Flag because I don't like the sailing of the ships. It seemed like a chore to me. So, but I may pick something up in the future for one of these games because I like the style. I got a little sick of the whole collect quest stuff where it's like get all the feathers and get all the whatever, and oh, here's a map full of like a ton of different bullet points for you to go to. And I'd rather just kind of be a little more straightforward, but I do like the style, and I mean they all look great. So I feel like if the story is good in this one, I may eventually just pick it up just to run straight through the story at some point when it's on sale, or is it EA that does
it's Ubisoft.
Ubi, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean,
so
eventually
sign up for that Ubisoft thing and get unlimited Ubisoft games. Like, yeah, they sell that. So yeah,
that's true. Whatever the cheapest way to do it is, and if I'm in the mood and I just want to
do a month with the Ubisoft thing, and then just crank out the entire game in your month.
Yeah, that's true.
Probably cheaper than buying it. Yeah.
I heard Valhalla was really good, and I almost picked that up, but then I just got too busy. So I don't know. That one's probably really cheap now too. Probably. They just kind of do that. It's like the Call of Duty thing. It's like every year, and then they started to do every 2 because people got sick of it. So I think this was. Did they do Valhalla? That wasn't last year. That was the year before.
Valhalla was 2 years ago. Yeah, because Tiff put a good like 20, 30 hours in that game, and I was like, I can't do that. No.
No, I think I might actually take it back. I think there is an Assassin's Creed game that I might actually be picking up this year. Nexus, Assassin's Creed Nexus on the VR headsets. I think it's coming out on the MetaQuest. Although it's probably going to be like a Mirror's Edge, and I'm going to get motion sick like within 2 seconds playing it. So, but that one kind of looks interesting from a first-person perspective. Playing Assassin's Creed might be good.
Fair enough. All right. Last new release out since our last episode is NHL 24 out for the Xbox and the PlayStation. Like, they've given up on PC, which was the original platform where you played NHL, which seems kind of odd. But yeah, I'm kind of excited for this. I'm at least willing to use my free trial on it.
Hockey games are always fun to play for a little while.
Until they're not, yes.
Until they're not. Like, so 10 hours is probably the perfect time frame to play a hockey game. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'll
now when you play
10 hours.
Now, that's what I was going to ask you when we were talking about soccer, but then I saw NHL coming up. One of the great things about like the NHL or the NFL games that you play is like the players. Yes. Like you could pick your team like that, like Boston, the Bruins, or you could pick the New York Rangers or something like that. Yeah. Like the rosters are good. The names, they're Americanized, That's what one of the biggest things with the soccer games is like. There's 4
They're
million
Americanized.
teams they put
Yes.
into it.
And
There's
4
3
million
billion
players on
players.
each team. Yes.
And
Yeah,
it's
no,
like
that was the thing. I remember being in college, and I was not, except for the Bruins, I was not a hockey fan. But I can tell you, Chris Chelios, and like I know all the names of all the guys because someone else would pick my team and I would pick a different team. So you learned all the players' names. Like I don't give a shit about hockey except for the Bruins, but I know all the players from 91 to 95 that like I have no reason to even know, and it's because you learn them from these games. But
Make his head bleed. Make his head bleed.
there are just too many soccer players. Each team, I believe, has a roster of 200 to 300 people, and there's probably 200 to 300 teams. And then, if I do the math right, that's probably 7 million players. So yeah, it's too hard to memorize them. But yeah,
and even if you get down to the level where in the soccer games you pick one of the MLS teams, Major League Soccer here in the United States. Yep. The players' levels are so shitty compared to the rest of the world.
No, they're not Ronaldo.
You're playing with
the guy I know. See, I just dropped a name.
So yeah. I think that's one of the biggest problems with soccer in America.
Yeah, they're all not Ronaldo. Yeah. Yep. That's the problem. But yeah, I will try some NHL 24. So if either you guys are using your free 10 hours, let me know and I'll hop on, because it's more fun to play with someone you know than play with some douchebag you don't in his mom's basement drinking shots of Fireball. Yeah.
What if I'm in my basement?
Even when I play my 10 hours of the NHL or the EA games or whatever it is, I don't go online and play. I just play against the AI usually. I usually start a season, run with the team for a while, and see how it plays out. But I never hardly ever go online and play anybody.
Yeah. That's always the first thing I do because I'm ultra competitive, but and not rightfully so in these games. Like I have no reason to even think that I can hold my own, but I'm like, yeah, taste this, bitch. Yeah. So, yeah. All right. Well, that wraps up our new releases. So on that, why don't we hop on over into gaming news? First story. Xbox Elite Series 2 controllers are on sale starting at $99. Now, this is a pretty good deal. Now, granted, I've already tapped out of these controllers. As we know, I use something different. Something...
Is it scuff, or what is that?
That's a scuff, yeah. Because I've broken all of the Xbox controllers. All the bumpers.
Oh yeah, you're really hard on controllers.
The bumpers break every time because they're made for like little schoolgirls.
You know what's bad about the Xbox controller? The Elite's probably fixed it. Is they have like on the triggers they have some sort of like soft something inside for when you hit the trigger, so it doesn't click. Mm-hmm. So then that gets sticky. And then you squeeze the trigger, and then it sticks, and it has to let go. And that's what's screwing up mine right now. But otherwise, they've been up.
Yeah. So, yeah. So if you go to Amazon right now, you search up the Xbox Elite Series 2, they have the two versions of the controller. One's the one that comes with all the paddles and all that shit. One's like the bare bones version. But the bare bones version went from $130 down to $99.99. And the other one went from $180 to $140. So yeah, these things are a pretty good sale right now. So if you're looking for that and you're not super hard on the bumpers, probably a good pickup for you.
Yeah, I mean these are easily twice as good as the standard controller that you would buy. So
at least, yeah.
I'm like, this is a phenomenal deal for $99 to pick up a Xbox Elite 2 core. I mean, it's just a no-brainer. That's if you're going to buy a controller, buy that. If that's within your budget.
Yeah, the difference is like $40, right?
Yeah, because I think those $69 are the regular controllers now, aren't they?
Yeah,
60
so
or $39. Yeah. So $30-$40. Yeah, absolutely. Like think of it. You'll have to buy two controllers, or you can buy one better one that does more shit that will last twice as long.
And the battery life on the Elite Series 2 are pretty fucking good too. So
I wouldn't know. My bumpers broke before my battery died, but yeah. But yeah.
Is that built-in battery?
Yeah.
it's got the rechargeable
Okay,
USB-C
so that probably wouldn't use
battery.
that. Wouldn't work on my charger that I have because I have the one. It's like an aftermarket battery. So then I have like the back of it, the plate fits into this
Oh,
charger
no,
thing.
no,
So I don't. Yeah, then I have to plug it in.
No,
We'll
but these
see.
have
I
a
want.
USB-C.
Yeah, it's got that
they
Apple
have
Yeah.
original USB-C adapter in it, so you can just store your Apple USB-C.
Wow, Selden is trying to dig deep here,
The
but
original
he
Apple USB?
he
Yeah, they
cannot
invented
he
the
cannot even get this
Even the
out.
USB-C.
Thunderbolt or the
We,
Thunder
we we do
No,
it
the
better than Android.
Lightning?
Okay. Yeah.
No, they invented the USB-C. Didn't you hear?
Oh no, the
Oh, they
USB-C
did?
is
Oh.
so
Yeah.
much better. Oh yeah, see there.
Oh,
you
is
get
that the
this.
15? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the 15 Pro Max right there,
Wow.
Selden. Oh, with my E3.
Looks like my 14 Pro Max.
Oh no, it's nothing like it because
Oh, nothing like it.
because I have the 14 Pro Max and this thing weighs about half the weight of it because of the titanium. So yeah, like it.
Mine always goes in a case, so I would never notice the titanium.
Isn't it just brushed? Isn't it just
I
brushed
would
titanium?
never put anything in a case anymore because they make them so sexy that you should.
But it would slip right out of my hand.
No,
It'd slip right out of my hand.
Ugh.
I need the grip. Need the
No.
leather.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
no cases.
So these the price drops, maybe that has something to do with a different story on controllers, possibly today.
Would you like to segue over to something, Shadow?
I
Next
suppose I might.
story.
Okay, Xbox documents leaked as part of Microsoft versus US FTC trial, including Xbox roadmap, including Xbox controllers, and including a new Xbox. So yeah, we're during the whole court case. It looks like some documents went through unredacted or
Accidentally
unprotected,
uploaded or
accidentally. I mean,
I don't
they didn't do
understand
it.
this at all. No. How does
Well,
this even
so
happen?
like I'm at a law firm, and people who don't know how to handle documents, how to zip them up and password protect them, or how to password protect PDFs. It's possible they might have sent these somehow to the system and got intercepted. I don't know, but I don't know. What do you guys think about this? I mean, I know this is late, and so everyone listening probably has gone through all this stuff already. I know that one of our listeners was asking about this. Who was that?
I think
Looks
it was
like
Altius.
Toga Party's Rule.
Oh, was it
Tog-
Toga Parties? Yeah.
Toga Party's Rule, yeah. So he was asking about that,
yeah,
and if
it
we
was,
thought
yeah.
that the roadmap was going to be similar to what was here. I think this was from like 3 years ago. I think was the roadmap when they were
roadmap?
originally.
Yeah, I think so.
I
yeah.
believe so. So
Yeah.
I feel like the controllers probably, yeah.
Probably
Digital only
anytime,
refresh.
yeah.
I mean, I think they will definitely have a 2 TB storage one. I don't know that they'll go completely digital, because that would just cut out all the stores. And
No,
do they want to go that way?
They
I
don't
don't
care
know.
about the
I
stores
think,
anymore.
I think that's exactly where it's going. Nobody wants physical media.
I would have traded that
Some
disk
people
drive on my original
I don't.
purchase out for an extra terabyte memory easily.
Yeah, it's true.
Most of us don't care about back compat because we're grown ups.
Hey,
and
I do.
And you know what? Your back compat games $5 on a digital version. Why? I mean, it's already there.
Not all of them will have a new version, but
well, do you still have the old console? This is the part that no one understands. Why do I need back
I don't have
when
the
I
old
have the
console.
old consoles?
I don't. I get rid of all my old consoles. Mostly
see.
all the new old consoles like Xbox 360 and PS3.
See,
I don't have those.
I still have 360s because I need to be able to play DJ Hero.
Okay.
Yeah, I dumped my consoles and I dumped the games. I have no reason to keep that physical media, so I'm all for a diskless going forward. So.
And I don't buy digital. I have physical media. I only buy digital.
I mean, very, very few of the backwards compatible games aren't digital downloads anyway, so it shouldn't really matter. You're right. Because I mean, there's a couple that might be disc only, but it's like 10. You know,
and that's why you keep around some old consoles. Like I think we kept around 6 360s.
Jeez,
we have like.
Where do you put all this stuff? Do you have like rooms full of old consoles just sitting there, never to be used again?
No,
They bought a new
go
house, but
and-
they didn't sell the old house. They just keep all that shit back there.
No, they're all up in the attic, just in case you need them. Like certain games,
All right.
there's no way to reproduce. Like DJ Hero was not back compat with the Xbox One, so it obviously didn't go to the.
There's
Xbox
no PC
Series
version
X.
of that.
No. So it's
Okay.
all, and we have, I think,
DJ Hero 2 was great.
Oh, DJ Hero 2 was. Didn't just dance. It'll be okay. Yes, yeah. That was Lady
Tiesto
Gaga with Dead Mouse. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
That was
so,
good.
So we made sure to keep all of those around in case we need to bust those back out. So
Yeah, but I mean, I have, like we talked about previously, I mean, I haven't bought a game other than Cyberpunk. That's the only disc game I've bought just because it was on super sale since probably 2013.
I would never buy a disc game. No.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Nope.
This is what we
I mean,
all fought for. We fought in the Clone Wars for this. And now they're trying to pitch it like, yeah, buy it on sale. No. Yeah.
So,
We lost our good friends in the Clone Wars to beat the physical media thing. So yeah.
but do we think that this is pretty accurate, or do you think it's changed a lot, or what are your opinions?
I think the timelines of these things always slip out a year or two, but that would probably make sense. Like this is probably about the time we would see this controller, and then I think it's probably about a year out that we would see this round non-refrigerator version of the Xbox Series X that has no disc slot. So yeah,
I mean, this is definitely the point in the generation that both PlayStation and Xbox release their revised editions of the console.
Yeah,
and
this
they'll
came out in 2020 during the pandemic. So like we're at least 3 years in at this point. So this is when you do your next model rev up.
I mean, it's been, let's see, so the 360 was 2005. The Xbox One was 2013, so that's 8 years. That was a big,
that was a big jump. But then
Xbox
One S was 2 or 3
Xbox One
years
X.
after that.
Yeah,
and then Xbox One X was a year after that.
Yeah. So like I think they're pretty much on 6-7 years right now. 6 years probably ish. So about 3 years is about halfway through. Yeah, it seems about right. My concern with the design is that if it's round, you can't lay it down, and some people would want to do that. So you have to have it standing up.
I'm sure they have some kind of like
stand that
little stand.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like hold it like a fireplace log.
If the PS5 can release whatever the fuck crack smoker created that thing and give you that like slide in plastic thing to keep it sort of flattish until you lift it up and it falls off.
Yeah. Why would you lift it up? You don't touch it because you don't use discs.
Yeah, you have to dust it. You have to dust
it. I don't do that.
Like eventually the dust gets like this thick and you're like, oh, I gotta dust it. Yeah.
One of the things I really like is that the heathens that still use Wi-Fi, they're putting supposedly the 6E or whatever it is, the Ethernet or the Wi-Fi 6E. Is that right?
Yeah,
Derek, you got
I have Wi-Fi 6E here. Yes,
yeah. I mean, unless you have gigabit or 10 gigabit plugs, Wi-Fi is gonna be faster usually for like the really high Wi-Fi compared to wired, but depends depends if your place is full of concrete or what.
I like a lot of lead paint in that house.
Yeah,
like we do wired to almost everywhere in the house, but we do support Wi-Fi.
I mean, you got
6Es.
phones, you got tablets, that stuff can't be wired. So
no, actually, technically, your new iPhone with this port on the bottom, you could put a dongle. And
why would you do that? It's a phone.
USB-C dongle, and
it's meant to be portable.
You can do 2.5 gigabits a second to your phone.
to put it where?
I don't know. You can actually also hook this up to a TV using USB-C.
Yeah, yeah. Can't you do that now with Lightning? I guess you can. I don't know.
No,
Okay,
not the same
but I mean,
resolution.
but you wouldn't. You would just do the casting.
Yes, yeah. Selden doesn't
Yeah.
understand because he has like the ghetto phone, but yeah.
I just think it's amazing that you guys invented USB-C so that like everything can be standard now.
We made USB-C better, is what
Yeah.
we
Yeah,
did.
but
Yes.
they still restricted the speed of the U. We're not getting
Yeah.
into it.
All right. Yeah, we got to get through these
right.
news stories.
Yeah. So
Next story.
Next story, Selden.
All right, Epic Games laying off 16% of its workforce and selling Bandcamp. Uh, in a surprise, I guess not surprise, Epic Games has announced that due to restructuring and financial issues that they're being laying off 16% of its workforce. This is tagged along with also the raising of V-Bucks and Fortnite and stuff like that, the price of it. So, I mean, how they can't be in financial trouble. They gotta have a freaking island made out of gold somewhere.
No, so he says like, oh, we're spending way more than we're bringing in, but like, if
How?
if you guys had seen the Fortnite party at E3 where they took over the whole Olympic Stadium where they did the 1984 Olympics in Los Angeles, and fucking Ninja was there, and fucking who the fuck is the guy with the fucking Marshmallow was there, and everybody was there, and they had the whole fucking stadium, and it felt like the most expensive part. Like it's like they saw the Activision party that had Tony Hawk skateboarding over a thing, and Dead Mouse was there, and all this shit, and they were like, "Oh, that's a pussy party. Fuck it, let's double that up." That's what this party was like. Like it was, you were at Fortnite, and somehow now they're losing money. Like I don't understand this, but I do have friends that work for Epic, and I know a bunch of people that got laid off, and I feel bad for them. And I hope they find a place to land, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it just has me scratching my head going, what? How the fuck can you say you're losing money? Like,
I just want to say, I feel like your E3 store is going to start to eventually feel like Grandpa, like, oh, back in my day when I was at E3. You remember E3? That thing that I used to go to? Oh, it was amazing.
yeah, I mean, even it does mention like they had, I guess there's a $520 million in penalties that they incurred from the FTC and its efforts to have the Supreme Court overturn a ruling that cleared the antitrust violation. Even for $520 million doesn't seem like it should affect them that much that they're laying off, almost what 16% of their workforce. So
couldn't they just put out a new hat or something and sell it and then make all that back in like a week?
And like like 2 days. Yeah.
Maybe 2 days.
Yeah.
Sign another deal with a Marvel character and get him on there.
Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. Like you think these guys print money, so I don't understand why they have to do this, but they did. So
now Bandcamp was one of their like subsidiary houses, right? What were they working on?
So Bandcamp was like the
it's a weird thing that they
like
did that.
it was like a podcast monetization platform and music monetization platform for like unsigned bands and for podcasts that wanted to have like some for pay episodes they sold. And then when they were just like shitting money, they were like, yeah, let's pick that up. Let's pick that up. Let's pick that up. And now they're like, well, maybe that wasn't a good idea. So
I love Bandcamp. They a lot of the bands that I like are on there and they sell like direct to consumers and they have sales and stuff. And they have vinyl and you can buy their albums, digitally and whatever, or you'll buy an album and get a free digital download but it's directly to the band instead of going through like Amazon or something. So I like it a lot. I hope that selling this doesn't screw it up, but it sounds like a sound, some sort of company related to sound is buying it. So that sounds better than Epic.
I don't think it's going to go by the wayside. Like a company that has sound in the name is picking it up. So it's probably going to be better than it was under Epic Games. Or like, oh, we got Fortnite and we got that Bandcamp thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. All right, next story. PlayStation Portal pre-orders are live on Amazon. So, if I played more PlayStation games, I would certainly be fucking pre-ordering one of these things. It looks sexy. It's cool. It's badass. Like, it makes the Switch look like the shitch. So, but yeah,
Not even a console. It's just a screen.
I know.
Yeah, and don't you have to be in the range of your Wi-Fi
Yes, you
at
do.
home?
Yeah.
Next to your
think
PlayStation, whatever.
You may be able to do it outside if you have a good enough connection, is from what I heard.
But yeah, no, I think this thing looks super fucking sexy. But and it's probably 10 million times better than the shitch. So Shadow can't.
They're not the same
handle
thing.
me calling it the shitch because
They're not the same thing.
One has a built-in console and one doesn't. But yes, so you do need an actual console to use this.
Yeah.
But
So it costs $500 plus $300,
$200.
$200. Okay, so $700.
Yeah,
and then if
But then you
VR,
probably have to
$500.
have the PlayStation Plus membership.
Yeah, but the graphics
Yeah.
are better than a 1980s console.
So's the
Switch.
Steam Deck. I mean, buy a Steam Deck, you know?
What about a backbone on your phone?
There's-
I
yeah.
have the backbone.
How is
You
it
already
different?
have it.
Can't you
$100
just
gets you the backbone. So
Get a little holder like I have for an Xbox that hooks onto your phone, and you have your Xbox controller below it, and you just play like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seems
I just think it's still way better than the Switch. That's all I'm saying. The Switch is like, can we all agree the Switch is just a piece of shit?
it's 6 years
It's-
old.
it's a
and it was already
Nintendo
old when it
product.
came
That's
out.
what it was.
Okay, so
But
both
it looks
of the
really
things
good for
you
6
said
years old.
were true. It's
Yeah.
6 years old, and it's a Nintendo
was-
console.
And it was old when it came out.
That equates to a piece of shit. Yes, it
But-
came out at 720p. Yes,
Yeah.
when everything else was
for what-
1080p.
But it's
For-
not
for
targeted
that.
to us. It's targeted to that audience
It's
that
targeted
Nintendo.
to little kids that have like a $5 a week allowance. Yeah,
I would say if you look at the brand new actual Nintendo games that come out recently for it, I mean, look at like Super Mario
no, I'm not
3D
gonna
World or
ever
whatever.
agree with you on this.
Just
You
look
are
at
a
those and go,
Nintendo
this is-
fanboy.
No,
No.
I'm not. I'm seriously. I'm just saying. Look at it and go, okay, this is actually 8-year-old tech right now, and it doesn't look 8 years old. If you look at any other 8-year-old tech, you're not going to get that good graphics out of it. I would say.
Not agree with you on this.
That's all.
Sorry,
But they're not the same thing. It's just a second screen. The Switch is an actual console, so not
but
comparative.
is it though?
It is. All right. Next story.
All right, next story.
Peter Molyneux's blockchain game arrives next month, just in time for NFTs to be completely worthless. I didn't actually. I sort of got a chance to look at this earlier, but I chose this because I want to say I like Peter Molyneux. I like the stuff he did in the past, like Fable and Black and White and things like that. But man, I do not know what this is.
The guy
What he's
lost
thinking.
it. The guy's lost it.
It says that Legacy was teased by the veteran developers Studio 22 Cans. That's Molyneux Studio that they're going to reveal accompanied the sale of so-called land NFTs within his game for real
so
life
they've been
money.
selling this
Buying-
fake land in this game.
Yeah,
That are the equivalent of NFTs. Nobody gives a shit. Yeah.
the game has to be popular first, right? Before you even think about doing something like that.
Yes. Yeah.
It just seems crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
he's crazy.
He's
all
always been crazy though.
Yeah.
But looking back at it, when Black and White was coming out, people are like, what the fuck is this game? Nobody's gonna buy this. This is God complex. There's no reason that anybody's gonna. It's weird. It's out of. It ended up being a phenomenal game. I love Black and White, and it was innovative. It was crazy. And when Fable was coming out, they're like, no, it can't be that in depth. It's going to be, it's really going to be restricted. It's not going to be as open as he says. It's not going to be as changing as this. And the game was phenomenal. So I think he's out of his freaking gourd selling a blockchain game based off of a metaverse with NFTs and land
Oh,
acquisitions.
absolutely.
And I don't understand how it's going to
dumb as
work.
shit. Yeah.
And I think that, we had this push for NFTs in games a few years ago, and it didn't work. I just don't see how this is going to work either. But, maybe he'll surprise us. Maybe he'll pull another rabbit out of the hat. And
Yeah,
It just seems like this is something that someone came up with when that was starting out, and it just now is finally coming to fruition. And they're like, oh, we're like 3 years late on this.
Yeah, no, I think he's beyond his time. Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately. That's
Alright.
it.
Next
Next
story.
all right. Sega cancels Hyenas and several unannounced games due to COVID era losses. Hyenas was in closed betas, and it was playing very well. The reception,
It was. Some
reception,
of us were in on this beta.
yeah, and the reception of it was great. And there's other betas that I've been in that I would have thought would have canceled before Hyenas got canceled,
Yeah.
just because of the shit show that they are. And Hyenas seemed like it was working really well, and I'm really surprised that they didn't at least release this free to play and give it support for like 3 to 6 months on based on what it was.
See, I feel like this was more like a tax write-off. Just by canceling it, it probably, you would know more about this than I, but I feel like, can you just write something off like that and then
I don't know
Write it
how it
off.
works at that level. That's just like
eh,
you can't just write off all the production costs.
I'm just gonna write it off. Just write it off.
oh, now that it's failed, we get to write off all the production costs of it, right?
If anything, they should sell it with the code that it is and let somebody else finish it and be done.
Because
with
this
it.
was a real, like, now that
This
it
was-
doesn't exist anymore, we can talk about this. Like,
Yeah.
I played this for almost a year and a half. And you played it for some amount of time, right, Selden?
Yeah.
Yeah. This game was fantastic.
It was very polished at at the point we were playing. I was like, damn.
So I don't, this is like some creative math accounting thing that I don't understand, but that's all I can assume this was. But this game was fantastic, but obviously they needed some things to write off against their bottom line, and that's what they did. And the fact they wrote off unannounced games, like, that was like, oh, we had 20 Sonic games in the pipeline, writing those off. We had like who knows how can you write off unannounced games? Like, at least Hyenas people had played, but like writing off unannounced games. Oh, we had this like ultimate MMO Sega game. It was going to be like a 3 million player thing, and
Ultra Beast 4 in 3D, and we got Knights 2, Nights into Dreams 2. You're gonna love it.
How can you even write off unannounced games? Like, I don't understand this, but
Panzer Dragoon 3 coming up.
I guarantee you most of those games were like on board still. They were still just drawings on a piece of paper. Something like, oh, this would be a great game. Oh, let's write that one
let's
off.
write that off too. Yes, yeah.
That probably cost us about $3 million. You think when we thought about that for a minute?
No, but after we put the money into it, 6. So yeah. So I don't understand this creative math that goes on, but all I know is Hyenas was a real game, and I felt like it was going to be pretty awesome. So much so that I Selden got involved in it, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's just
disappointing.
There's such other shit games that come out. I'm like, this one was actually pretty good, and they wrote it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Selden.
Anyways, next story.
All right, next story. Cuphead is adding free behind-the-scenes bonus content. So Cuphead's been out for 100 million years. And this is not playable content, but it's kind of cool what they did. So Cuphead went and they took a lot of their behind-the-scenes stuff from, like, because it was a revolutionary game where they took, like, animated stuff and turned into a video game, and they're just packing in the game now, like, so many years later. So you can go back and you can see how all that animated stuff did. It's almost like watching a documentary on Cuphead in Cuphead that you can't play, but if you like the game, it was cool. So I'm actually a pretty big fan of this, and I can't wait to watch this because I loved Cuphead. I probably put 40, 50, 60 hours into Cuphead. So
I still have anxiety from memories of playing Cuphead. That game,
You wake up in the middle of the night.
Oh my God.
Ah,
it's the level of difficulty ramped up so high in that fucking
so
game.
high. You had to as soon as you learned a boss's patterns, then you had to like really dial it in to be like, oh no, I don't have like a whole second to do this part of the pattern. I only have like a quarter second to do this. And then when you finally got through though, you were like, oh my God, I'm the best person at video games ever. Because it was so like ultimately
So hard.
overwhelming. Yes, yeah.
I think I threw control. That was the last time I've thrown controllers. Was that fucking game? I threw it. I channeled my inner Derek and I threw the controllers.
Yeah, nice.
But it was and I know that they had the animated series, cartoon series for a while after that. It was the art style, the hand drawn animation, and everything like that was phenomenal. And it has a special place in my heart because I thought it was a great game.
Too.
So
yeah.
I don't
ever want to go back and play it, but I want to go back and watch stuff about it. Yes,
I just remember playing it, but not actual play it.
Yes, yeah.
My son watched that.
Play it again. Yeah.
My son watched that cartoon and he liked it, but I'm like, you're not gonna want to play that. He's 9. He doesn't want to play the actual game. He'll never really get through it.
Never want to play the game.
I mean, I will 100% Souls games, and I stay away from Cuphead. Because I'm like, I know there's no way I'm gonna beat that. I know myself. So no. It looks cool though. I love the style.
No, it is cool. So I think this is a good nom de plume to finish out Cuphead because I don't feel like anyone's still playing it, but like it's like hey, appreciate what we did for you because I'm not sure we're ever going to see anything like this again.
Yeah, it's probably a couple of the designers sitting around smoking or drinking and like, hey, you know what? Let's give them something.
Yeah.
You remember that box I got in the back office? Let's throw that on there for them.
We have all this footage. Come on.
What else you got?
Yes, yeah. So yeah, I'm excited for it. So all right. Last story.
MetaQuest 3 will get official Xbox Cloud gaming support in December. So if you have a MetaQuest, you'll be getting that in December. Using your headset, you'll be able to stream games like Halo Infinite, Starfield, Forza Horizon 3, Game Pass stuff to the virtual 2D screen. It's like a giant screen. So this sounds cool. I mean, if you have one, it's a big cost of entry, but if you already have one, that's great. When do you guys have one? I forget.
Is it MetaQuest 3 even out yet?
No, it comes out
just
October,
for 3?
Yeah, it's just for the 3.
End of October.
Okay.
Yeah. I have we had a Quest 1 and Quest 2. I got a couple of these pre-ordered, the Quest 3s when they come out for the boys for Christmas. But this isn't not relatively new. There was unauthorized apps out there that I have played Xbox games, streaming from my Xbox on the MetaQuest on a giant screen inside the bed of,
Police, Selden broke the rules.
No,
he broke the law.
It was an app
TOS
on the App Store
gone.
in the MetaQuest.
Unauthorized. Out of his own mouth.
I think it was unauthorized with Microsoft. Now Microsoft has gotten behind this technology. Maybe they're using the same program that I played on, and they're bringing it in.
Illegal hacker program?
No, it was. I didn't hack it. It was a standard thing. So, it was great because you could add additional backgrounds behind the big screen. You can make the big screen as big as you wanted, as small as you wanted.
Yes, Officer, yes, Selden. Yeah, that's his name, Selden.
But it was experience because it was like you play it like on a drive-in theater screen when you're sitting there playing this. Yeah. So
I see.
It worked really well, and I'm sure this authorized app that Microsoft has gone into deal with Meta is going to be even better, hopefully.
Yeah, probably better than whatever like back alley shit you did. Yeah.
It says it's unclear if and when Xbox Cloud Gaming will be available on the Quest 2 and Quest Pro. So, I mean, we don't know if it's possible or not. They apparently have not said that it isn't. Obviously, in some ways, it must be possible.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Is
you want to be like a elite hacker or something.
It was playing from your Xbox. Now this will be native inside of MetaQuest. So hopefully any kind of lag or anything like that will be resolved and stuff like that. So
yeah, not everybody's a script kiddie like you, Selden. So yeah.
So yeah.
Fair enough.
All
right. Well, if any of you have stories you want us to talk about, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@twillplay.com. Message Selden on the dark web where you guys can talk about your hacks, and then we'll bring them to the show. You can also comment on the episode's thread on the Twill Play homepage. And sponsors! If we had them, we pimp them, but we don't, so we won't. So if you want to sponsor the show, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@twillplay.com, and we'll negotiate an agreement with you. Twitter us up. You can find everything Twill Player at twitter.com/TwillPlay. Everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_got_game. Facebook the fuck out of us. Facebook.com/TwillPlay. That's where all of our Facebook content goes. We have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/TwillPlay. One of the many places that we broadcast this show live each and every week. So go to youtube.com/TwillPlay and subscribe. It is also our ultimate dumping ground for on-demand content. Selden, do you have any recommendations for on youtube.com/TwillPlay?
No, just back episodes of the show. There, you can go through our whole catalog. It's great. See some of our previous hosts. See our annual, our big 500 show, 400 show, 300 show.
Selden's so humble. He's trying to hold back because he doesn't want to seem like he's bragging. But Selden also had a show on our YouTube channel. So Selden has a show. Like, go back and search up his show, and you're gonna appreciate it so much. Chef's kiss. But yeah, all of our archive video content is on our YouTube channel. So yeah, definitely go check it out. Give love to the hosts involved, and like Selden is so humble, but don't overlook his humbleness because
I might just move that content to my OnlyFans channel.
Paywall that shit.
All right. Please rate and review the podcast on iTunes. Give us 5 stars. If you have an extra couple seconds, write us a nice review, and we'd really appreciate that. We have a Twitch channel, twitch.tv/still_got_game. The show is not there tonight, but sometimes it is. But we're changing things up. So yeah, just hold off. You can still go there and subscribe. Maybe someday I'll be willing to pay the extra money to do an extra couple channels. But we're already broadcasting like in 11 places. So, yeah, go follow us, twitch.tv/still_got_game. Go to iTunes, give us a 5-star review, write something nice if you have a chance. Like, hey, Shadow's so blurry. But, or whatever that guy said that time.
Buy me a new MacBook.
Yeah. Shadow's MacBook fundraiser. Yep, go there, do that, and help them out. We have a Discord. That's at discord.me/stillgotgame. That's discord.me/stillgotgame. You will be able to chat with Shadow and Selden 24/7. These guys have no boundaries. They don't even sleep. But for me, maybe
that's actually kind of true.
Maybe like 15 to 20 minutes a day, I will respond to you.
Yeah.
And even that's questionable.
Yeah.
But maybe 15 to 20 minutes a week.
On the host channel, I wrote you the day before and you didn't see it until right before the next day.
So 15 to 20 minutes a week is probably what I can give you
like
from me. Yeah. Yes. So Shadow helped me out here. He helped me reset boundaries. And so, yeah, I'll chat with you there for 15, 20 minutes a week. But these two guys, they'll blah, blah, blah with you all day long. They'll even help you with hey, can you help me figure out my DVR settings? And those guys will do it. They don't care what the topic is. So, yeah, definitely go there. Discord.me/StillGotGames, sign up and chat with some of the hosts of the show.
And sometimes Tiff.
Yeah, and sometimes Tiff. Yes. All right. Guys, what are you guys pimping this week? Selden, what do you got?
It is October, and once again, it's that time of year to cancer awareness, particularly breast cancer awareness. I would recommend reaching out in support of any of your local charities or organizations that help fight cancer, and go that way. That's what I could pimp.
Fantastic. Shadow?
I'll mirror Selden on that for this month. Also, I created a link tree. It's Brian S. Emmerich, BrianSemerick. If you want to see all the things that I'm pimping there, Child's Play and Extra Life, and then I have all of my links to socials and things. So if you want to check those out, those are there as well. So yeah, that's my stuff.
Nice. I'm at linktree/Derek Nolan, linktr.ee/Derek Nolan. All the show shit is there. All of my shit is there. But I do want to jump back to Shadow. What's our month that we have to do our stream?
I think you can do it kind of whenever. We'll have to see what we want to do. Maybe Extra Life. I think you can. I don't think it's a specific day, but it might be. Otherwise, we have to set it up for it. Yeah. Well, it's been in November a lot of times, but that's because my buddy does it every year, and it's always in November for him. But I'll talk to him and see when that would be, if it's a specific day, or if we can just kind of pick when we want to do it. But
fair enough. Yeah. So we'll fill you in then in the upcoming weeks. So. Well, I guess I want to remind you all, you can just join us each and every Monday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific at youtube.com/tool to play, facebook.com/tool to play, twitch.tv/tool to play, and kick.com/stillgotgame. So yeah, we're officially on Amaranth's kick.com. Because we're so hot. So that's why you want to go there and tune into us. But yeah, we're on all the things. So join us there, and we'll accept your comments, questions, feedback, or just watching us from any of these places. So definitely do it up. All right, on that, let's wrap this show up. I am Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
I am Chris Selden007 Selden.
And I am Brian Shadow Emmerich.
This is how we enter the after show.